Previously on the science fiction rating system.
That was the best of what we watched, Chris, unbelievably.
Yeah, seriously, Chris, the stuff that we could have picked was worse than that.
So, as I say, I have got another film. So, Chris, do you want to gamble on another film?
No, I think we'll just stick with this, because...
Going to stick with that? Okay.
It can only be worse, really, can't it?
Well, you don't know. It could be anything. I'll tell you, the other one has got an actor who was in Aliens in it. It's got a name actor in the other film. But we'll stick. If you want to stick with this, we'll stick with this. That's fine. Yep.
Ooh, you've tempted him now, because he thinks that
it's making me think.
Because there's a name, he thinks he might be able to work it out.
Well, I'd rather watch a Bill Paxton film over this, or So you
going to gamble?
Let's gamble. Okay. I'm going to gamble.
Oh, he's gambling.
And now, the conclusion.
Mystical, powerful, invincible. It's the Science Fiction Rating System podcast. The podcast that aims to rank a science fiction film from 1 to infinity. My name is Sam Draper, and I am joined, as ever, by Chris Redding.
Bonjour.
And Alex Humphrey.
Hey there.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Feeling Christmassy yet? We're in December.
Trees up.
Well, yeah, a little bit. My tree's up.
That just reminds me, I haven't had my chocolate out, my advent calendar.
We've got a live opening.
A live opening, yeah. My tree's going up today, but I'm scared the cats are going to just
what are you going to do? What are you going to do about that?
Let them, probably. I'm not got much say in it. When I went out,
Cats
actually,
rule the roost, don't they?
Yeah, when I went to get some water then, the door downstairs, because it's quite cold, the doors are quite shut, I went to open it and it was kind of heavy, and I pushed it a bit, and the cat, Gigi, was just upside down, lying against the door, and he just flopped over as I opened up.
That's great. Draft excluder.
Yeah, he's obviously he must like the breeze, but there's strange things. Yeah, last year they weren't big enough to bother the tree; they were tiny. But this year, I think they're gonna.
They're gonna love it.
They are, but yes. Anyway, we're not here to talk about cats.
Cat news.
As a cat news, mini segment. The people at home will have heard a clip at the start of the show. Basically reminding everyone that this is all Chris's fault, and that he had the choice of 2 films, and he decided that Nights.
The trailer looked better on this one,
right?
And don't you remember, Chris? What swayed it? It's because Sam said this one stars someone from the Alien, from the Alien franchise, and that's what completely won you over.
The other one didn't have anyone in it, though, did it?
No, not at all. No.
Yeah.
No.
See, I'm a sucker for names.
Yeah. And he's got Kris Kristofferson, who not that famous, but he was a big name once upon a time, wasn't he?
Blade, Star is Born. There's 2 films he was in.
So Nights, it's a film from 1993, which was it started work as a sequel to Cyborg, which is probably the director Albert Pune's most well-known film. I bet you've seen Cyborg, haven't you, Alex?
I have, but I can't really remember it at all.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, bad film. Kickboxing, cyborgs. Funny that. And
Does he do the high kick?
He really does, yeah.
Yeah.
From what I can gather, most of this Albert Pune's films are about kickboxing cyborgs. That's kind of his thing.
He did a version of Captain America.
Yes.
When Marvel was not doing anything. He also worked with Canon Films, and he had an involvement with Canon with Spider-Man and Master Universe 2, but both of them were cancelled midway through their productions. So we would never see Albert Pune's Spider-Man or his Master Universe 2.
There's an alternate Marvel universe that is all by this guy.
That
everyone's just kickboxing everywhere. So this film came out direct-to-video in 1993, and as far as I can tell, it's not actually been released since, has it? I'll put the link.
I'd certainly never heard of it.
No,
me neither.
I mean, I've had to watch it from a link online. I'm guessing you two did as well, unless you found a better.
No,
I managed to find someone with a copy that they got.
You did, right? Well, I'll put the link to what I found.
How did you do that?
I
don't know. And I told Sam how I did that, and then he was.
Oh, I couldn't find it. Yeah, where you said you got it from.
You can. Yeah, weird.
Anyway. I mean, I might put the VHS art in the show notes for this as well because it's incredible. But yeah, so basically, it's the future. It's a long way in the future, and
the world time. At what world
it's
time?
kind of what world time. Yeah, contemporaries. This is the other side of the world, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is where there's loads of land.
It's got to be a really long time because they've like forgotten everything, these people, haven't they? I mean, like they're back to like medieval basics, aren't they?
Well, that's the weird thing. They've not only forgotten it, they've kind of gone weirdly full circle back to a kind of feudal land, which it references a medieval time a bit too closely to be.
But they still have like
to make sense.
cybernetics.
Yeah. So, well, allegedly they do, don't they? I mean, Lance Henriksen's the only one who's really got any sort of cyborg stuff on him in a big way, isn't he? He's got this big, stupid Borg arm.
I'm gonna say it now. I love the design of him. I just thought it was brilliant. It looked a bit like that bloody Treasure Island film, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it did a bit, yeah. That's true.
Yeah,
actually.
but I think I love it. It was also a bit like Tetsuo.
Yes, yeah.
I just loved how like out there it was. I just thought it was brilliant, and I can't imagine how annoying it would have been for Lance Henriksen to like be wearing that thing all the time. Like, obviously, it was a nightmare. It must have been, but yeah, I loved how he looked. I thought he looked great.
Yeah. So I'm just going to set up the world because I think most people. This is probably the number one film we'll watch that most people will not have seen. So I'll just give you a general overview of the world. Basically, it's so far in the future, there's 20 cyborg knights left that they're like vampires that feed on blood, basically, aren't they? And they've got an army of slaves.
Lots of ideas in this.
Yes.
Lots of ideas. Wasn't it that the cyborgs worked, but then they broke after a while?
Yeah.
So someone, the master builder, isn't it?
Yes, Master Builder, yeah.
And that's not from the Lego movie, but anyway.
Who appears to be he's like a 2 foot tall metal rod in the middle of a tent, isn't he, the Master Builder?
Oh, God, yeah. Anyway, the Master Builder adapted the cyborgs to run on human blood, and that solved the problem of them breaking. So now they are immortal.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why they have to eat the blood, because their
like
systems...
the Borg, then.
Yeah, like a vampire. At least this film has the self-awareness to use the word vampire in the film. So they get called vampires quite a lot, don't they? They're not vampires, but they kind of... At least the film is saying that the cyborgs are kind of like vampires.
Do you think maybe the script was actually just a vampire, like a medieval vampire film at one point?
Ooh, interesting.
Because it kind of feels like that...
Yeah.
It would have been around the time of like Interview with the Vampire, Bram Stoker's Dracula, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's interesting.
And the idea of like feudal vampires going around, it would make more sense, wouldn't it, in a way?
Way more sense.
Yeah.
Way more sense.
So I got the idea
Yeah.
this guy got hold of a script or wrote a script like that and then thought, no, cyborgs, that's what I want in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, they've got to get 10,000 humans. I don't really ever understand this. They're very obsessed with the idea of 10,000 humans before the equinox.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I don't know why.
Yeah.
No one explains why. Like you say, there's just a scene where they're sitting in a tent around a talking rod, and the rod, who seems to be voiced by Lance Henriksen as well, as far as I can tell, but isn't Lance Henriksen. The rod tells them to do this thing, so they all go, all right, well, we better go do it then. And there's just happens to be this big town where they can get it done in one go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that, yeah.
And the only thorn in their side is that they've heard a rumour. This is the quote. There is that rumour that someone has figured out how to terminate cyborgs. That's what the guy says. I mean, again, if there's 20 of them, right, it's going to be either a fact or not a fact that someone has gone out of the 20 people, isn't it? You know, because he says that he's killed 4 of them, and they keep going, oh, well, it maybe doesn't exist. But if there's only 20 of you left... Just look around. Is there somebody missing? If there's not, it's not a rumour. It's not true. If there's someone missing, it's probably true. It's not that hard.
They also have a human army of people who are kind of... They look a bit like Oompa Loompas, don't they? They've been kind of painted orange.
Yeah.
And they're people who are kind of under the impression that they'll get turned into cyborgs at some point. But
whose blood they can't
won't.
drink? I don't get that.
No, I think that's just
minions.
it's a big scam, isn't it? Perpetrated by the cyborgs.
But why can't cyborgs just drink their blood and be happy?
No, I don't know.
And they'd have no minions.
No, they wouldn't have the minions if they drank the soldiers' blood. Because there's only 20 of them. Because someone may or may not be killing them.
Yeah. They're kind of they've already got a home, have they? Like a roving gang of villains. I think actually it starts, doesn't it, with the girl as a kid and her like village gets massacred, and I think the impression is that there were a lot more of them then, weren't there? There's just 20 left by the time we get to the future. Where I mean, this is where I've got literally my one positive note. The scenery is lovely, isn't it?
Epic. Epic shots.
You get lots of nice wide shots of the desert, don't you, and rocks and stuff, and it's just unfortunate in the foreground you've got like Lance Henriksen in with his cyborg arm and his red outfit. Yeah. So, so the main characters basically are this woman who...
She's like a kickboxer or something in real life, isn't she?
Yeah, she dominated women's kickboxing in the 80s, retired with an 18-1 kickboxing record.
Wow. Yeah.
There you go. 18 wins to 1 defeat.
There's a lot of backflips. She loves
she looks all right.
Backflip.
I think she looks good fighting. I think the fight scenes are quite well done.
She's Michelle Pfeiffer's stunt double in Batman Returns.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, but quite obviously not an actor.
No, she can't act.
Really struggling with the line delivery.
Yeah.
But at least she's paired with an acting Hulk like Kris Kristofferson, who doesn't appear to be aware he's a cyborg or in a cyborg film. I mean, he was famous for country music, wasn't he? And he seemed like that kind of country character to me still.
Yeah. It's funny how he's created this niche for himself as this kind of old man who turns up and trains people in martial arts to kill something. Because that's exactly the character he's in Blade. He's exactly the same character. And I think he's quite good in Blade. I quite like him. But he was doing it all the way back in, the 90s, when this was. He was doing it back in 93. It's kind of weird niche to find yourself in. But...
He's really not arsed here, is he, though? In a way that, like, Lance Henriksen is bothered and is trying his best.
Like you said...
I wonder what he got paid.
Can't have been much.
Not a lot, I imagine.
Calling it in.
He's either acting so much or acting not at all. It's that weird line where you can't really tell. He's either
acting at all.
Yeah, so I think he's not acting at all as well. But you could argue that he's just decided that this character will be like this, or you could just say he's just... reading the lines in his own voice with his own intonation. I can't think it's intentional because so much this film is a Terminator 2 rip-off. Like the score is attempting to be it, isn't it? The idea of this one good cyborg after a bad cyborg and that he's, not going to live past the end of it, basically. So I think Albert Pune was after a more Arnie sort of performance, wasn't he? Not this sort of... very low key, sort of like, well, I'll sort it out. Don't worry, I'm a cyborg. Yeah. One of my favourite people is at the beginning is the first person she fights. That Simon guy.
Yes, who likes to end all his sentences like this.
Cannot control the volume of his own voice.
He is so ridiculous.
Every line reading is the same. Like it's. Well, how did you get over there? Like it always goes up at the end like that.
Yeah,
it's classic poor acting though, where they find like an intonation where that they think it works, and they do that every take.
Yeah,
I love it.
He's brilliant.
He's so funny.
Yeah,
and I love they set up some really weird things in the film that they then carry on. So in that, he's like, the Crimean attack. Like that, and then later on, Kris Kristofferson's like, I'll teach you the Crimean attack. Like,
use the Mont Blanc offensive.
Yeah. There's some just brilliant, just stupid lines.
Yeah, the banter in the fight between Chris and Gabriel and Simon when he's going, that's the Mont Blanc offensive. Oh, nice one. Yeah, good. You got that one. Yeah, good work. Yeah.
Well, they're trying to make a rich world.
Yes. It's brilliant. Yeah, it's just
fantastic.
So stupid.
Also in that scene, you get the brilliant shot where Gabriel, that's Kristofferson's character, catches an arrow and then throws it back as if it came out of a bow at the guy. Brilliant.
Yeah. That was in the trailer, actually. I remember seeing that in the trailer.
Is that what swayed you on the film? Was it that?
It was, yeah, I thought. And I saw all the slow motion flying through the air stuff.
Yeah.
I thought, got to do this.
So at this point, I've got a quite technical, well, not a technical question, but I've got a question for you, Chris. As a filmmaker yourself, say we could acquire the rights to Knights, which can't be worth much. How much do you think we could make this film for? Imagine a medieval battlefield in Britain, so like a field, like Bosworth, something like that. just transplant the story over here. How much do you think this film would cost to make in modern day terms?
Well, it's kind of a, because you want it to be a blockbuster now, do you? Or?
No, I want it to be like the same sort of.
So what you need is to because what you've got is I can't imagine the woman was much money because she's from a sporting arena.
Yeah.
But you do need two people of equal Kris Kristofferson and Lance Henriksen level.
Who would you cast, I suppose? Yeah, in those two roles.
Who are those people? I don't know who they are now, but
who could you get for that? Danny Dyer.
Yeah, Danny Dyer.
As Gabriel.
As who? He's Gabriel, is he? Okay.
Actually, I think he would be a better Joe, wouldn't he? Be the bad guy.
Danny Dyer is the bad guy, and then you need a kind of someone who's a goodie
girl.
Well, no, you need another like a Lance Henriksen.
You need your Gabriel, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, equivalent. Who's the kind of goodie?
Who'd be nice and cheap.
Luke, one of the Luke Goss, because he's good at martial arts.
Yeah.
Charles Dance.
Yeah.
Charles Dance, he wouldn't do, would he? He's too. You're casting a better film than Knights 2. Oh yeah.
And I think he would do it. I've seen him do some mental shit.
Oh, you know, do it. Ben Kingsley. He'll do any old shit.
So I was just going to say
Ben Kingsley. Yeah, Ben Kingsley. And then Luke Goss could be Simon or the other one. Who the other one is? Who's the other one? Is David.
David, yes.
Yeah.
So we've got all Star Wars now, isn't it? You could get an old Gladiator to be
Wolf.
the main one, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Jet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's still going.
What is this a serious proposition? Do you think we should?
I just think how much could it cost to buy the rights to Knights? Not a lot.
But what I'm thinking is, why would you want the rights? Why don't you just make up your own story? Because this is gash.
I just think Knights 2, the English saga.
It's not like it's got like
Return of the Queen.
It's got an existing fan base.
Oh, so you're not another idea not being greenlit.
I'm out.
Every week I try and pitch something. He's never. Alex, you on board?
I'm with you. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm with you. I love it.
Damn it. Unfortunately, neither of us have got any actual
Alex is
technical
just a yes
skill.
man. He says everything yes.
I am quite a yes man. It's true. With when it comes to Knights, I think we should get Lance Henriksen back. I think we could. I think
he was saying yes to your hybrid men and fish story last week.
I mean, he knows a good idea and he sees it, doesn't he? Really, that's what's going on.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
I mean, it's quite telling. Like, I couldn't think. I know I have rewritten Knights twice already. Once in England and once with vampires. So no, it's rubbish. Anyway, back to the film. So what's her name? It's Nia, isn't it? The woman. Her village has been massacred, and Gabriel's like, right, we need to train you. And I think pretty much the entire middle bit of the film is just them stood on a rock, being trained, isn't it? For ages.
Or him on a horse and her running after the horse, which is quite funny.
With some strange piano music.
Yeah, considering he's a cyborg, he doesn't really need to ride a horse because he doesn't get tired.
It's a bit harsh making her run, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's only an arm cyborg, though, isn't he? Not legs.
I don't know.
No, he's a whole cyborg, isn't he?
He's all cyborg.
What do you mean a whole cyborg? Which bits of him robotic, which are human?
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah.
Isn't he an old? Doesn't he explain he's an old model one from before they go bad? Is that what it is?
That's just explaining why they're all shit. Whenever that's classic, true. Robotics in films. I'm an older model. Yes, it's because you got a bucket on your head, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's aging, which is why he looks so old, I suppose.
Gabriel is named after the creator of cyborgs, who is dead.
That was it. Yes,
yeah, that's it. So,
But yeah, I mean, also he does this weird, like, trying to seduce her, where he's like, "Oh, you're so pretty," and she's like, "No one's ever said that to me." Well, that's because they're boys, not men. Oh, hang on, you're a cyborg. What's going on here? Are you a cyborg or just some sleazy old man, or is that your programming to be a sleazy old man? It's a bit.
My favourite bit is when he says,
sex machine.
He's a sex. My favourite line, which I'm going to try and start saying in real life, is when he says, "Always be ready for the unexpected," and she goes, "Unexpect this," and then tries to hit him, and then doesn't actually manage to hit him either. Yeah, I think I'm just going to drop in "unexpect this" to try and to say it. If people are like, well, maybe don't get your hopes up. Unexpect this.
Unexpect this.
Yeah,
get a catchphrase off the floor there.
Yeah, try. I'm going to give it a go.
My favourite line of the film was when she's getting annoyed at the fact. Basically, she's sort of falling for Gabriel, and is like, "What are you going to do after this?" And he's like, "Well, I've written down, I must do what I was built to accomplish. What happens after that does not concern me." And she just shouts, "No!" and runs off. I was absolutely like laughing. She just like pegs it.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know what she's thinking there.
Room, that bit.
It was a bit, yeah.
Really over the top. Like...
Yeah. No! I mean, it does set up a nice ambush where we get to see Kris in a proper fight and he loses. So,
yeah.
I mean, he's not that good, is he, at all, really?
He loses hard because he gets cut in half, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's
not. What was their original, like, what is the backstory to the cyborgs? I couldn't quite get that. Like, why were they originally made?
They don't really explain it, do they?
When he says, what's his original purpose, he could have been, like, fucking screwing tops on jars. Do you know what I mean? Like,
imagine that's what it was. Every fight, he just unscrewing jar lids and throwing at people.
Well, the only clue to everything, right, is in the final line of the film. So, if I wrote down the final line of the film because I thought it is important. Shall I read it now?
Yeah,
do it.
So this is the very final line of the film, and it is: "The search for my brother would eventually lead us across time and space. Far beyond Cyborg City was Genesis, and finally, the edge of the universe. But before that, there will be many battles and many glorious adventures." So,
oh my God,
you're going across time and space. There's a Cyborg City.
Yeah, this is a bit...
and that's beyond the Cyborg City is a place called Genesis, whatever that is. And then the edge of the universe as well. So all of this is within this world.
He's setting up the franchise, isn't he, for a site?
Well, yeah.
Knights 3...
Spoilers, it ends on that line and they never made a sequel, so, you know.
Yeah. I actually haven't seen the end of this film because I could not get the last 3 minutes to play for me.
Oh.
I just kept trying. So that's new to me, that line is. And it sounds quite amazing. Okay. I've missed a great line now, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, you did.
Yeah. But, well, back down on Earth, it's still going off. Gabriel's in pieces and Nia gets captured. But she's now, like, become the cyborg badass. They're not cyborg.
Yeah.
And she goes to meet... She gets in with the gang, basically gets captured, and she wants to get in a showdown, a fight to sort of challenge Lance Henriksen, Job.
Well, she has to beat that big bloke up first, doesn't she?
Yeah, to prove her worth. And at this point, are they in the town of Taos? Is that the idea?
I think so, yeah.
Because all through the film, they're saying they're getting to this 10,000 people town, aren't they? And it's just about 4 tents, isn't it? And probably 30 people.
There's that brilliant bit where she sneaks up on the guard, but she's literally like 2 centimetres away from him. Like she climbs up the cliff and is 2 centimetres to his left, and then just like does one of those moves where she knocks him out. That's really funny.
I think it was just handicapped by certain budgetary issues.
Yes, just a bit. That if they really oversell this Taos place all the way through, they're like, we've got to get to Taos, and then. I mean, I guess because I don't think they actually mention they do get there, do they? It's just sort of taken as given that they are there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they must have realised that they'd not got...
They didn't have the budget for the set, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a town. It's just the same bit they were before with an extra couple of tents down. But
the other great bit about that is that there's that big bloke who's fighting the little weird slave, and she says, like, oh, no, fight me, like, you know, don't harm that guy. So they take her away to get her ready, and then as you see her slow-mo walking to the battle, the big bloke just literally rips the head off the bloke she's trying to save. So he kills him anyway. So she hasn't saved anyone. She's just like round 2, basically. She doesn't help anyone. She's just like the next person he fights. Like, it's ridiculous.
Right, well, at this point, we have got to Lance Henriksen's sort of main bit of the film, isn't he? He's like presiding. So,
I mean, yeah, you've been not mentioning him deliberately, haven't you? Just
do you want a Lance Henriksen quiz? As we're here?
Yeah.
Right, so Lance Henriksen, we all know him from Alien. He's in loads of stuff. He was in the TV show Millennium for a long time. He's in a lot of good stuff, but he's also been in a lot of bad stuff. So,
like Man Bites Dog.
Yes.
No, not Man, but what's it called? Man's Best Friend.
Man's Best Friend.
Man's Best Friend.
Yeah.
Man's
Best Friend. Yeah.
Right, so I've got some film titles here. And you basically just tell me, is this a real film that he's been in, or is it a film? Not a film he's been in, basically.
Okay.
So, who wants to go first?
I think I can detect Sam's writing, so
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like, if you've come up with one.
Okay.
Ooh,
Do you want to go first?
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Kids versus monsters.
That is a film.
That is a film, yeah. A direct-to-video. Not too crazy. Nice, easy one to start with. Alex.
Yeah.
The Mangler 2.
That's a film. I think that's a film. Yeah,
That is a film,
I've heard of that. Yeah, I think I've heard of that. It's a horror film. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Right. Chris. Sasquatch Mountain.
Mountain.
Sasquatch Mountain.
No.
That is a film. That is from 2006. He plays Chase Jackson.
Wow.
He's a lot of films. Right, Alex. The Da Vinci Treasure.
The Da Vinci. See, that does sound like something someone would have made to cash in on the Da Vinci Code, but also you could have just written that because that's a dumb. No, I think that's a real film.
That is a real film. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that? 2-1, isn't it?
It's tricking us. These have all been real films.
I'm not necessarily. It's not necessarily that. Right. Okay. Next film. This one's for you, Chris. The Hamster.
Oh, that's a hard one. That's so stupid.
I'd say no, not a real film.
It is a real film.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right. Alex.
Yep.
Ginger Clown.
No, that's not a real film.
That is a real film. He plays Brain Eater. It's actually called Ginger Clown 3D.
Ginger Clown?
Yeah.
Like, all one word or 2 words?
One word, yeah. This clown is not your friend. Brad Dourif and Sean Young of Blade Runner are also in Ginger Clown. It's all star cast.
Oh my
Are they demonising ginger people in that, do you think?
Or is it like gingerbread?
Let's have a look. Hungarian horror comedy film.
Ginger Clown.
Tim Curry plays the Ginger Clown.
Oh my God, they had some money with that. Well, maybe our Knights remake could do a lot more than we thought. If all those people are prepared to be in Ginger Clown.
Right, we've got one more each. Chris. The Slamming Salmon.
That is a film.
That is a film, yeah. The Slamming Salmon.
Slamming.
Is it like N apostrophe?
It is, yeah. It is exactly that. Yeah.
God.
Right. And to finish, Alex. Aurora. Operation Intercept.
See, again, that sounds so much like... yeah, that's a film, yeah.
It is a film. They're all films.
They were all films.
They're all so funny. I mean, Johnny Handsome.
That's a good one.
There's loads of them. They're brilliant. Yeah,
dear.
I did actually make a couple up, but they're all so funny.
No, you don't need to.
No. Anyway, well, so Alex wins 3-2. Well done, Alex.
Thank you.
So yeah, as that should prove, My Dog the Champion. That's another one he's in.
My Dog the Champ.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Scream of the Banshee. He's done so much stuff. My favourite, but it was so obviously a fake one, was Garm Wars, The Last Druid. He'll turn up for anything. He probably would. Yeah. He would make Knights 2, wouldn't he? He really would turn up for Knights 2 if we did it. But yeah, so what do we think about Lance Henriksen in this film? Alex,
he's
his performance?
Absolutely brilliant in this film. He's so
Saves
good.
The whole thing.
He does save the whole thing. It's such a like crazy performance from like him having a parrot for some reason. Like there's about 3 moments where he opens his mouth and just a load of just spit just comes out of his mouth for no apparent, like he just drools all over the floor, and I don't know why. Like I don't know if it's supposed to be like he decided that the cyborgs overproduce saliva or something, or I don't know what it was. And then there's just some lines like when he goes on the rampage at the end, he says, "Oh, where is it? Oh, I wrote that down. There's a murderer here. It's me!" Like that. He's just, every scene he's in, he's just brilliant. And he is so, it's almost a bit like, it's part the way like Island of Dr. Moreau, like Marlon Brando. You just wonder if he was just I'm just going to do this
I
until
wonder
someone
how much
stops
he's
me.
bringing to the party there, and how much is in the script, and how much he's being told to do things. I think he's bringing quite a lot to the party.
Hell of a lot, just probably to entertain himself. But he's quite menacing. Like, he's so unhinged. He's so unhinged that you're kind of a bit... It's a stupid film, but that performance in another film with another costume, you'd be like, oh, that's a really good... that was a really good villain. But it's because it's such a stupid costume and such a stupid film.
Yeah.
No, but he's brilliant. Brilliant.
Chris, you think I mentioned last week a bit like Dennis Hopper? Do you think they're that sort of same sort of thing there?
Yes, yeah. I think he's great. I think he saves the whole picture.
Yeah, he does.
Well, not saved. But...
He does what he can. It is that thing though, of like I mentioned it with Hopper last week, of a B movie actor knowing that they're in a B movie, isn't it? And understanding what that means. Which I guess for a man who's starred in Slamming Salmon. He knows, and also being Alien and The Godfather and stuff like that. He knows when he's got to do one sort of thing.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, a class act really. And it makes the rest of him look even worse, doesn't it? When he's on stage with when he spits on that guy next to him, and the guy's like wiping off the spit. You think, this poor jobbing actor trying to get ahead in life, and I don't know.
Well, it's weird that the other cast, like the two other. So Simon was in Teen Wolf and Turner and Hooch.
Yeah.
But the guy, David, is the guy from... he was in Expendables, but he was in a live-action version of Fist of the North Star, which I remember being quite obsessed with when I was young, because I liked the manga. And he's also in a version of Tekken. He's someone in the Tekken film. So, I mean, that's the kind of,
I didn't even know there was a Tekken film. That's news to me. A live-action one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he's in it. I don't know who he is in it.
Street Fighter film, and wasn't it a Street Fighter film?
Yeah, it's a Street Fighter film. Yeah.
We should do this. It is the we've talked about other rating systems, but a computer
Punch
game
'em up rating system.
Well, no, a computer game cinema game film rating system would be a good one, because the films they're so bad they're great, I would say. But yeah, Tekken film. There you go. Go out and watch that. I'm assuming these people are all ex-stuntmen, really.
He's a kickboxer, isn't he, that guy? Yeah. He's some stuff.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we should definitely do that, because like the work of Uwe Boll, which we can't really watch this, can we? But, I implore anyone who's not seen House of Dead at home, have you seen House of the Dead?
Yeah.
The climactic battle where he cuts to shots from the computer game. It's absolutely hilarious. It's such a fantastic film. Anyway, this isn't as bad as that, but...
I guess we could do Doom on this. That's a science fiction film.
It's not Uwe Boll, is it, though?
No.
We should do Doom, though. That's got that weird first-person bit, hasn't it, in the middle?
Yeah, that's the best bit of the film.
Yeah, it's a strange film, that is. And The Rock, before The Rock was like a big, proper film star.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to this. So Nia catches up with Gabriel, who's cut in half, and we get some fantastically bad attempts at filming him being strapped to her back.
It is so dumb, that bit. Like it's
Yoda, you're trying to do Yoda, aren't they?
Totally. Yeah. But you either you get long shots of a dwarf on her back, don't you? Occasionally, who's quite clearly a dwarf, and then you do the shots where they've not quite panned up enough, so you see like the tops of his legs, don't you? As he's like to be stood
you could almost like have a film studies class of almost like 10-year-olds and say to them, how do you think they achieved this effect? And they go, well, that's a child or a midget, and that's just very close up. It's very obvious how it's almost like a way of teaching someone how to do that.
Child or midget?
Yeah, which one is it? Yeah. Oh, it's so dumb, that bit.
They also like really badly get the perspective wrong on the shots of him, where they shoot it like down from above, so she's clearly crouching down, isn't she? And he's sat on the floor, and it just so obviously looks like that because the skyline's like completely in the wrong place. Just oh god. But I mean, mercifully, that doesn't last very long. She has a nice fight scene where
the thing is, you could solve all them issues, can't you? Like,
very easily.
Very easily.
I always think of in Lord of the Rings, the shots where they have Gandalf and Frodo on the trailer together. And that's literally, they've just made a trailer that's one side bigger than the other, haven't they? And then shot it from the angle so you get the perspectives. Like, it's a real, like, in-camera effect. And, like, that's not hard to work out. I mean, obviously, it's probably hard for the first person to do, but someone's done that work, haven't they? Just do that.
Or just don't have Gabriel cut in half. Like, cut one of his arms off or his leg off. I mean, that ridiculous bit where he bolts himself back onto some legs from another cyborg.
Yeah.
And then he's got this kind of...
It's so cybernetic legs then with...
Yeah, he does, yeah. And he's got like bits of his guts hanging out, doesn't he? Like over the top of his trousers. Like, is this weird like bulge where he's got some mechanics hanging out?
Yeah.
Her fight where she kind of goes and just kicks a load of people's asses through the tents, that's not bad. She kicks a guy off a horse. That's quite good.
I mean, it does seem a bit like the same guy in a cape running at her about 10 times, doesn't it? And she doesn't move. I mean, I'm not knocking her kickboxing skills. They're good, but...
No. Yeah.
You know, it's...
It's like that same move. I think they show it about 5 times in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we get to the end, which, as I say, I've not seen. So can someone fill me in?
Did you see Kris Kristofferson fight Lance Henriksen?
No, I saw him getting brought back together, and that's what I missed. Oh.
It's brilliant.
Right.
I've written it down. I've written down. It says Gabriel versus Lance. He rips Lance's arm off, punches his face off. See it all melted and weird. Lance says it was all the master builder. Rolls onto his side and dies with a fade, with face close up to the camera. Says some crap about experiencing death and birds. That's what I've written. Doesn't he? Says some. Do you remember, Chris? He says something about like my soul or the birds, or he says some really weird.
He tries
line.
to do like an Eric Cantona style line,
right?
Yeah. It's really odd, but his face melts. Like his face, they've got this kind of weird melty face effect that looks, and then
a face being punched off, Sam. Unless you witness that, it's hard to describe.
Yeah, I'll have to try and get working again. I'm gutted I've missed that.
And then Gabriel and Nia head off to Cyborg City, riding off into sunset. And I've written, seriously, did they think they were getting a sequel? And then you just get a voiceover saying all that weird rubbish that I just read. I mean, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, you need to see the end.
I do, yeah. I don't think I can rate it properly without the ending. But so there we go, Knights. So, Chris, what did you think about Knights?
I thought it was mad.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we've seen it, but I don't really want to see many more films like that. Like
it's your worst kind of thing, isn't it? You hate these kind of fighting.
Yeah,
films,
I just hate when we go off road like this.
Right. Okay.
But I think it was probably the lesser of two evils. I can't even remember what the other option was.
Okay. So you're not going to like. Well, we could just. I've got a choice for the end of this episode as well. But Alex, we'll go to you. We'll go to you first of all.
Why? Why?
Let's just go to Alex first. What did you think about the film?
It was terrible, but I loved it. As I've said many times before.
Yeah, but he likes shit.
Yeah, when we talked about Universal Soldier and MacGyver, I love this kind of film. When we find a film like this, I almost just wish I could like post the VHS to the kind of teenage version of myself and say, watch this. Because it's the kind of crap I love. I mean, it's just dumb and stupid. But I do think, as we've said, Lance Henriksen, his performance is pretty admirable. To act that well in such a terrible film is kind of admirable. So, but no, I loved it because it was so stupid. But yeah, it's a terrible film. It's going to be right down the bottom. But yeah. But it was fun. If people want to, if they can find it, if they want something just stupidly enjoyable, and you know what, you're probably right. Now you've said it. The original script probably was vampires in medieval England, and like, well done to Albert Point for coming along and going, no, cyborgs. I'm not backing down. This is going to have cyborgs in it. Somehow, I'm going to make it work.
Is that a well done?
Because it's more crazy. It would have been boring if it had just been vampires, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I suppose. Vampires are pretty lame, aren't they, really?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Right, well, let's rank. In my opinion, yeah, I agree with both. You're basically terrible. But I mean, yeah, I enjoyed it as much as you can, really. But yeah, pretty bad.
But is it as bad as A Scanner Darkly?
Oh.
Well, no, because again, it's not. I mean, it is really bad. I think 100 and... Hang on a second.
It's kind of Theodore Rex level for me. Come on. It's like a joke one, isn't it? Like...
Yeah. But is it worse than Indiana Jones?
Is it worse? Well, I think the thing you should say here is it worse than Man's Best Friend? Because you guys hated Man's Best Friend. So I think it might be...
I think it'd be between that and Star Trek.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was going to say, yeah.
I fucking hate Star Trek, though.
So 106.
Maybe.
I hate Crystal Skull. I think it's better than Crystal Skull. I think the acting is better than Crystal Skull.
Star Trek 5's so bad, though.
I mean, Thunderbird's really bad as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When you get to this sort of level,
Theodore Rex,
it's all
I
one
think
big pond, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit of pond. It's a cesspit. It's like the thing in Waterworld where they try and recycle you.
It's a recycling pit.
Yeah. I don't think it's. I think Indiana Jones is offensive. Indiana Jones made me so angry because it's really just tarnishing a great thing, and I don't think this is tarnishing anything. It's just stupid.
It's not tarnishing the great legacy of Cyborg.
No, it really isn't. So I think it's better than Indiana Jones.
So 104. I'm going to say 104.
Do that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's good.
What's Chris's choice? What's his choice? Do we have to watch it again? Are we going to re-rank it?
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Hang on, we just... what's it called? I forget what it's... Nice, yeah. Right.
I think I can safely say I will never watch that ever again.
No, I'm not going to bring that one back. Don't worry.
Right, so we've got a big film lined up for next week. Let's go to the future and find out about that one first of all, because I'm not going to get rid of that. So go to the future. Hello from the past. Next week we're watching Empire Strikes Back, and Chris has just been to see Star Wars with an orchestra. Where was it at, did you say?
Royal Albert Hall.
Nice.
Yeah, with the LSO, and it was sick.
New Hope.
But it's but it was like huge. Have you ever been to one of them at the Albert Hall? The biggest screen, like in
I've
Europe,
seen. Yeah, I saw West. Oh yeah, sorry, I saw West Side Story like that. I see
Jurassic Park last year like this, and it's just sick. But the thing is, the screen is so massive that you see stuff which you just have never seen before.
You don't notice before, yeah.
Like I'd seen Jurassic Park, I knew it back to front, but there was like a whole shot in that which was raining in Jurassic Park, and it's like at the beginning.
Tell.
Yeah, and in this, like the sets look like shit in Star Wars. They really do look like shit. And this was the special edition. This was after the 97 balls, with all the dewbacks and stuff. But you can actually see where the set's not painted and stuff. And I'm like, well, if you're going to like put crapping dewbacks in, at least just colour that bit of wood there grey.
Fair enough. Right. Well, I mean, it sounds good despite that.
That's my feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the 1997 special edition.
Yeah. Timely.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, next week we'll be watching Empire Strikes Back because it's Christmas time, and we couldn't think of any good Christmas films, but this is a Christmassy film, isn't it? So
I always used to watch this at Christmas.
Yeah, there was on
I've
Christmas,
got
aren't they?
good memories of sitting there and all. But although it was all dark and dirty, when the version I used to watch when we were kids, obviously on the telly. Remember Dagobah, and it used to seem really like magical.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of snow in it as well, I suppose, which helps.
Yeah, exactly. Hoff's Christmassy.
So let's do a quick synopsis. We've done New Hope already, haven't we? We've done Phantom Menace. I think we'll probably go in order now rather than hopping around everywhere. Empire Strikes Back. Everyone knows it really, but basically, rebels are on the run from the Empire. And then after a climactic battle upon Hoth, the rebels are kind of split in different directions, and Luke gets the Force, Han Solo meets an old friend, and it ends on a bit of a downer, doesn't it? But yeah, I mean, I guess obviously we've all seen it before, and it's great. Yeah. But let's watch this trailer here. This is the very first teaser trailer for Empire Strikes Back from back before it came out. So look at this.
Okay. But this one defeat will increase its determination to crush the rebellion once and for all. In the continuation of the Star Wars saga, the Empire strikes back, and Luke, Han, and Princess Leia must confront its awesome might.
Well, I mean, if you listen at home, you should watch that because it's pretty funny. Just a bunch of concept art. Obviously, not got around to making much of the film. Yeah. But yeah, so.
Did you see the ad for the new Disneyland Star Wars place, which went out yesterday?
No.
With like John Williams has written a whole piece of music for it. It's pretty epic. It looks amazing. I saw it when I went to Disneyland last year, and earlier this year when they were building it. It just looks like epic.
But is it like a whole like zone of Star Wars then? Like a whole area?
Yeah, it's like, but it's the area of like half of the Magic Kingdom, and it's just Star Wars.
Wow.
Galaxy's Edge, I think it's called.
I mean, it's cool, but again, too much Star Wars.
The thing is, there's going to be a lot of bullshit there, like porgs and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, let's not worry about those. We're watching a classic this time. So join us next week for Empire Strikes Back, and I'll go back to the future. Bye.
Bye.
Now, after Christmas, we're going to do a thing. We're going to watch. Hopefully, become a tradition. This will start of the year. We're going to watch 3 films from 5 years ago, which is the closest to now we can review stuff. Technically, we've broken that a few times, but we won't do it again. And we record in clumps of 4 films, so that leaves one other slot for us to do a recording of. Chris, as you chose so well before. Basically, I've got a choice for you again. So we can either watch. So I've got a film here that was suggested by the website I watched the last film on, right? Or I've got 2 sequels.
Oh God!
2 bad sequels to a film we've already watched that we have to watch in one go. So it's 4 hours.
2 films or 1 film?
It's 2 films, so it's 4 hours of potential sequel hell, but it's a film we've already watched, or it's 1 hour and 30 minutes of maybe not sequel hell.
But it's something that the website when you watch Nights, this is what if you like this, you'll also like this.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine.
But the 2 sequels could be bad, and that's longer as well.
That is 4. It's at least I think it's about 4 hours 20 minutes, if not longer. In a week.
Yeah,
so
I'm going to go for the 1 film.
You're going for the 1 film, right? Chris, you have chosen. You're the Hunter from the Future. The trailer is in the chat. So let's watch this right now. I've not seen this myself yet. This trailer. I thought keep it for this. So let's watch this.
Okay.
Someplace in this world where we can live in peace with our people.
He is from a future world, trapped in another time, searching for his past. A hunter of incredible power and strength. In his quest for his origin, he and the woman he loves must fight hostile tribes, battle deadly beasts, and try to survive the violent
Thank
forces.
you, Chris. Thank you so much. That's like a Christmas present.
An Italian, French, Turkish co-production. That was. I think it's dubbed.
Insane. Are we gonna have a problem viewing this film?
No, it's because on that website we watched the last one from, so it's definitely it's definitely there. So.
Wow.
Well,
wow.
Thanks, Chris.
Are you going to tell us what the alternative was?
It was Matrix Revolutions and Matrix Reloaded.
Oh God, that would have been so awful. Yeah.
Which would have been its own fun. Like having to watch those back to back, but never mind. So yeah, that's a long way in the future. That is like 6 weeks from now, but it's nice to get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it for now. Join us next week for Empire Strikes Back. Any other thoughts? Alex, you got a...
Oh yeah, I'm not prepared. We are on www.sciencefictionratingsystem.com or sciencefictionratingsystem@gmail.com, and then Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at SF Rating System. Send us your thoughts on terrible films. Go and watch Nights. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, like maybe we can get a Knights revival on the cards. Like, will be the groundswell of support for it. That'll be.
Yeah, let's hope so.
I think the owners of the rights will see the first few views their film probably. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Waterworld got a 4K release, didn't it? So it can't be too long until Knights gets.
Well, yeah, maybe it's time
the treatment.
For Nights. Yeah, it's time for Nights.
I mean, there's not even a DVD of Knights. It needs something.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
It is weird. Right, cool. Thank you both, and we'll see you next time for some Star Wars.
Okay.
Bye.